So continuing on with calendar events, what we're going to look at in this video is the various other events we have available to us for the calendar. So we've talked about one-off walks and adding groups, and we'll just kind of talk about expenses, boarding, daycare, and finally custom events. So we won't spend too much time on marking expenses. I'm hoping that it's pretty straightforward. You choose an expense type, you choose a date, and a cost, and there's additional notes for your own reference there if you need it. And once we've added all our information, we just hit the check mark at the top, and then we'll see here that fuel has been added. So if we go back, we can see here that our expense has been added, and it's of £50, and the expense is of fuel. Okay, pretty straightforward. So next we're going to look at boarding events. So I'm just going to quickly fill in some information about the boarding event, and then I want to talk a bit more about it in great detail. So just bear with me while I do so now. I'm just going to select the time very quickly. Okay, so the way that the app works out the number of days is in 24-hour periods. It doesn't actually work out in days. So there might be some of you who are quite happy with that. I know a few users have highlighted to me that the days is incorrect because they work in days rather than 24-hour periods. So what I've done is a go-between is added this kind of additional box down here, so you can add or take away from the total cost to kind of suit if you work in days or 24-hour periods. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you is I'm just going to select autumn, and once I've selected a dog, I'm going to go to the additional tab. So in the additional tab, basically what you're going to see here is you get notes about the boarding event. So not yet started. And you'll see below here that there's four sort of text boxes for dietary, medication, vaccination date, and kennel cough vaccination date. What this is information that's directly pulled from a client's profile. So if you have already filled this in via their profile, in this case it's Autumn's, you'll see all the information is just pulled into the boarding event for reference sake. So you don't need to go out of the boarding event and then go back into it to get any sort of relevant information about, you know, what kind of medication they take or what their food requirements are as well. Okay, so we'll just quickly add this boarding event. Okay, so boarding event created. We'll go back to our diary, and we'll see here that the boarding date has been successfully added. And that's pretty much standard. You can see here that I've got no added because we added one earlier and all the information is already there. And next we'll look at daycare and make a daycare event. So selecting that from the events options. It's pretty self-explanatory. We'll see that we've got a date of the daycare event. We'll go for Friday the 6th. We've got a start time and end time. We've got a cost of the event. We can mark it as half day, which halves the total costs. And if you need to add things like additional costs, there's an option for that as well. So let's go ahead and select autumn, quickly add an additional cost, and create the event. Okay, so now if we go to Friday the 6th, we'll see that we've got daycare and we've got autumn. Okay, so next we've looked at expenses, boarding, daycare, and next we're going to look at the custom event builder. Now, the custom event builder was inspired by because a lot of users were asking for additional calendar events such as things like training, pet taxi, puppy visits, and all this. So what I've done, just to be super flexible, is give you guys and girls a custom event builder where you can select anything, the number of dogs, what the event is, and the cost to it. So we'll just quickly go through that just now. So say for example, we'll select 3 dogs, Autumn, Dougal and Miley. We'll select visits as the name of our event. We'll select Wednesday the 11th. And we'll assign a colour, and then we'll assign 2 slots, two time slots. Okay, and then we'll hit next. And on this page you can define the custom prices for all the dogs. Again, it's flexible, you can enter what you want for each individual dog if you want to. Or you can use the apply cost to all dogs at the top and push the apply to all button, and that'll give you the same cost for all dogs. And once you've done that, you can just select create event, and it says, do you want to add visits to your calendar? Yes, I do. And then you can see here that visits have been added to May the 11th. So if we go back to our diary, look at May the 11th, you can see here that not only have we created our event, what will happen is if you create multiple time slots within that event, the multiple time slots will show on that particular day. So you can see here the 2 time slots we added for visits are both here. Okay, so you could also use custom events. I see a lot of people asking about other animals and things like that. Maybe some of you do like cat pop-ins or small furries that you look after. So again, the custom event builder could be used to do that as well if you wanted to, if you had that on the side of your business. Again, just create a profile for the animal and then use the custom event builder to to make it whatever you want. It's there to be flexible for your business and for you to make your life a lot easier. Okay, so that's us looked at all the kind of calendar events. In the next video, we'll talk about the copy week feature.